I don't think they're going to take any action against silver. And it'll be used as barter all over the country pretty soon. But gold's a different story. Gold is something that the IRS and the leftists have always wanted to get their hands on.
How you doing, Tim?
Well, it's interesting.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
We're very busy, and
yeah, you were showing me. I won't film it. But you got stacks of papers here of purchases, right?
Things that are going out, yeah. And they're all going to Yankee stacking followers, which is good because there seem to be more and more people waking up every day. I hope that there are more people wake up in Canada, because I'm getting a little tired of watching their prime minister make a fool of himself.
I had one of my subscribers send me an email really concerned about what was going on up there in Canada and thinking it's coming to America.
They're calling them domestic terrorists.
Yes.
And but that didn't start in Canada. That started here. It's the same thing as January 6th being an insurrection. It was very far from an insurrection, except for the handful of plants that they rushed the building.
Can I clarify something?
Yeah.
I would not have gone in there. Would you have?
No, and only because I had a customer come in and tell me he was there and he started going up the steps because there was nobody stopping anybody from going up the steps. And he noticed a well-organized small group of guys that rushed the building and started breaking glass. And that's when he started to back down the steps.
Good.
Yeah, I would be in the same situation.
Good.
And in fact, I would probably pull my phone out and start filming, so we could identify the people who were the small group of people who started the rush.
Protesting is good. That's being a true patriot. Yep. What you would have done was respect the rule of law. I want to get that down on camera because that's good.
I desire to go in the Congress. It might rub off on me.
I don't know. There's a lot of people who watch my channel said they'd vote for you for Congress or something.
In this state, for what we have as reps, it's very tempting. But the feds, Congress, all the leftists, all the people that think their only mission in life is to, get a hold of some of your money, period. I mean, seems to be this Congress. That's their only desire, is to get a hold of your money. They think they're entitled to it. That's why, they have a claim on IRAs, 401ks, and at some point they will exercise their claim on that money because you never pay taxes on it. What's going to happen right now, if you spend $10,000 in cash on anything, but if you're buying gold, it's very easy to spend $10,000 in cash really quickly. If you spend $10,000, you're going to have to fill out the 8300 form for the IRS, and you have to list how many fives, how many tens, how many 20s, 50s, 100s that you spent, that amount of money consists of. And, with your Social Security information and everything else, okay? Most people use personal checks when they're buying from me. Personal checks, money orders, whatever, if they want to spend over $10,000, because the IRS doesn't seem to care about checks. And that's because if they ever want to know how you're spending your money, they just go to your bank and ask. And I think, under the Patriot Act, they probably don't even ask your permission.
Not at all. Nope. Okay.
However, since silver comes from so many sources, physical silver, and, it's being sold in such huge volumes, the largest being probably the U.S. Mint selling Silver Eagles, I don't think they're going to take any action against silver. And it'll be used as barter all over the country pretty soon. But gold's a different story. Gold is something that the IRS and the leftists have always wanted to get their hands on. And I suspect that this 8300 paperwork that applies to $10,000 in cash will at some point in the near future be applied to gold. In other words, you buy an ounce of gold, you need to fill out all your information for the IRS. And the reason I think that is because if you go online and you're buying gold, where most people are actually buying their gold, they are already collecting that information. And, you know, they have to because they don't want to be shut down. And if you know, whatever you use as a payment method, that's a matter of record, and it's available to the IRS whenever they want to look at it.
With a local coin shop, though, that's a loophole in their mind, right?
Well, we're not required to take that information.
But what I'm saying is that they look at that maybe and go, we would want to have visibility into that transaction.
Oh, yes, that's what I'm talking about. And they'll treat it as if it's $10,000 in cash. In other words, you'll have to give them all that information, you know, social security number and all this other stuff, and what you spent, how did you buy it? You buy it with check, you buy it with cash. I just see the attitude of some people who are, what does it say, far left in attitude and hesitant to buy gold. You know, these are people who are voting in people like AOC and, you know, and Joe Biden and people who actually voted for the guy. They don't think there's anything wrong with the government overreaching on everything. They just don't think there's anything wrong with that. So
what advice would you give to people when it comes to gold versus silver in purchasing it under this environment?
In regards to my opinion about what's going to happen
Your
in the future,
opinion, yes.
I would say buy it while you can get it for a reasonable price. And if the Republican Party gets a hold of the Congress in the next election, I don't think we'll have to worry about that for a few years. But that's the problem. I mean, the Congress, the Senate, and the presidency are all in the wrong hands right now.
So I'm here to pick up some silver. I see you have some more onzas.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Think of wild amount of, what, 7?
All right. I want to...
Unless you buy them.
They got after me last time for not scarfing them all up, so I think I might do that. Maybe maples if you have them?
I do.
Okay. I'm still looking for quarters. You do have this luscious kilo bar. Can I hold that?
Sure. Brought in by a good customer, and
oh man!
It looks to me, if you look at the pickaxe on the back, it looks like it's Silvertown.
Silvertown, yeah, absolutely. Oh,
I'm sorry.
Right here.
Down here.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's Silvertown. Wow, that is chunky. 32.151 ounces?
Well, it's close enough.
Oh, shoot. What is it?
That's right. Well, it's 32.15.
Okay. I thought you were giving me a hard time there, but you were.
So is this going out the door today? Should I package it up for you?
Whoa. Okay, so I have another video that I'm going to be doing on my tiers of silver. High value, mid value, and low value silver to me, but that's coming. My question is this. With the economic realities that we're facing right now, why is it a no-brainer for us to buy silver and gold?
Because our economy was founded on free enterprise. Nothing else. I mean, you could say, oh yes, you know, this group built the country, and it was the Industrial Revolution, and the Rockefellers and the Carnegies, and it was built on free enterprise, from the lowest unpaid farmer right up to the millionaire merchant back in the 1700s. It was free enterprise. That's why we had a revolution, because the King of England considered the states or the colonies a piggy bank, and he squeezed everybody for taxes. And even John Hancock, the reason he signed his name so large on the Declaration was because he was a merchant who lost it all. They seized his home. They put the provincial governor in his home. They pretty much destroyed his business. He was an importer of things like tea, and so they kept raising the taxes on everything that was imported. But that's been that way forever in this country. Free enterprise built this country. It didn't matter it was person to person or corporations. All the big corporations that were founded became very successful in the early 1900s, and there was some of them were even broken up through antitrust action, but it was all still free enterprise.
We also had a manufacturing base. We were producers. We were the...
You're talking on a larger scale.
I am. I'm talking at a larger macroeconomic scale.
Back in the 1800s, even up to the Civil War and after, the small producer, the small manufacturer was king. We didn't have big corporations. But, you know, what the Rockefeller realized, if you're going to supply everybody, you're going to have to be big. And, Rockefeller has taken a lot of grief, just how successful they were. But, they more than anybody else, all the big industrialists built this country at the expense of the entire rest of the world. That's all disintegrated.
It's gone. We shipped our manufacturing overseas.
Yeah.
We became a net consumer, not a producer anymore.
Well, that's true, but keep in mind that the whole economy became, I guess they were being held down by burdensome taxes. Other countries like Ireland, for example, realized that we are so overtaxing our corporations that, we can give you an office here and you can call this your home base. Bermuda, the Cayman Islands, everywhere. There are places where you could pay less in taxes and actually keep more of your money. I remember opening up an annual report and I heard some Democrats say, "Oh, corporations like Exxon Mobil don't pay any taxes at all." So I opened up the annual report, which I never spent time reading. That year they paid 43% of their income in taxes, federal taxes. 43% of their income. That's not right. And if you want to drive business overseas, overtax them.
The other thing that's dramatically different is our debt. Whether it be at a personal level where people can't afford a $800 expense that comes out of the blue, living paycheck to paycheck,
yep,
to corporate debt, local debt, municipalities, cities, states, federal debt. Debt is what drives our economy now.
Not a good thing at all. I've always had a personal philosophy about debt, and I paid all my debt down. Here's the amazing thing, because I had a credit rating of 845, okay? And after I paid all my debt down, it went down to 765. So, yeah, everything runs on debt. Everything, exactly, including your supposed credit rating.
Right. We're also focused on the stock market as an economy now. The stock market is the economy. It's what drives the Fed policy. It's what administrations in the White House look at. It's a big deal because of that wealth effect for people. Again, under a consumption-based economy, the markets have to keep inflating.
That's true. But keep in mind how much fluff there is in the stock market, hedge fund transactions. There's a lot of stuff that's on paper only.
We've got an inordinate amount of zombie companies that are filling this fake economy. That are not produced. That are not.
They don't produce anything.
They don't produce anything. Remember, 30, 50 years ago, people saved. They saved for a rainy day. They were able to have a reserve. They lived at or below their means. Savings was important. Now, savers are punished.
Well, and one of the reasons that people don't save is there's no payback. If you put $10,000 in a savings account, what are you going to get at the end of the year? $1?
Exactly.
So there's no incentive to save, and buying things is very easy. You just pull out a credit card and buy whatever you want.
Exactly.
You go on Amazon or Google some product, and it's on its way.
Very easy to overspend. Very easy to get in a situation like many of my Yankee Cannon members that I talk to and help with a budget, to see that they're just living hand to mouth.
Yeah, and that's tough. I mean,
it is tough
because everything is going up dramatically, and what is being quoted is 7.5% inflation, is a lot higher than that. And, you know, if you don't include energy and food, of course, this morning, oil was at $94 a barrel. Do the math on that.
So where that comes from is a government that is far more socialistic than it has ever been before, thinking that they can stimulate and send out checks and provide from cradle to grave more and more and more support from the federal government, and that will all be monetized by a Federal Reserve who has bought into Keynesian economics to an extreme. Modern monetary theory.
I mean, but that's, even that has an endpoint. And I think that what people don't understand is that there's going to be a day of reckoning for all this debt.
Let me sum it up here.
Yep.
I believe we have a consumption-based, debt-driven, stock market-focused, faux economy based on fiat currency that is destined to be destroyed.
That's true. But keep in mind that whether it's a production-based or a consumption-based, there is still basic economic principles at work, and unless you want to see a collapse of the economy, you got to stick to those principles. Supply and demand is one.
Free market.
Paying your bills is another. And why the federal government has gotten so out of whack, makes no sense. I mean, that was not the reason to have a Federal Reserve. It was supposed to protect the value of the dollar, and it's doing just the opposite.
Well, I think those are the economic realities in a nutshell that are making stacking silver and gold a no-brainer. That's why I'm here.
Absolutely.
That's why I am buying silver today. So, all right. So these onzas, I cannot leave them here because I will just get yelled at from the subscribers. So I'm going to get those. And you have a tube of Canadian maple leaves.
I do.
Good. 2022s, I'm assuming.
They are.
Awesome. All right, let's do that. And then how many are there? 7, you said?
I believe so.
Okay. And there's that kilo, huh? Wow. I wonder if that's not going to last long, is it? That'll be gone quick. I'm just getting silver today, Tim, but I guess after what you said about gold, it makes me want to focus on gold again.
We have a lot of plans for people, and none of them are any good.
All right. Thanks so much, Tim. That was very helpful.
Thank you. It's been interesting talking with you.
All right. See you next time.
Very good.